There you are, Gage man. So I apologize. Not only did we drop the last one, but the battery died while I was trying to get it sorted out there. I've let it charge a fair amount, and now we're back. And while y'all were gone, I've seen a seal. I've seen an eagle was up in that tree, and the water level here has dropped every bit of 2 feet. 15 minutes ago, that rock that's let's see, there's the log, there's a rock, there's a fair-sized rock just peeking up out of the water. 15 minutes ago it was under the water, so the tide is receding at the moment. Steve Eaton, hello. And I apologize for not having anything really exciting to show you, but Gage man, no, buddy, we just unloaded that trailer last night in Seattle, or actually, I think it ended up in Everett, Washington. And that was a pretty epic situation in itself. I would have shared it with you, but I needed the phone to navigate and to find where I needed to go and to get back here. And anyway, but I'm just enjoying the serenity and the quiet right now. I'm just really taking a break. We were thinking about running into Seattle, and I was just gonna be getting right back out into all that traffic and dealing with, and I just didn't feel like it. So this is just much. I'm. Yeah. Yep. Rats with wings. 10-4 on that, Mark. But we've got all sorts of duck activity out front here. And every once in a while you'll hear a sea lion or a seal. I'm not sure which one. Yeah, 10-4 on that, Mark. And every once in a while, one of the Boeing aircraft flies over, and Larry was pointing out that yesterday I saw one, and he said, that's a brand new airplane. And I go, really? And he goes, yeah, look at it. It's not painted yet. And sure enough, it was a big 787 or whatever they call them, big airplane, but it was all bare metal. They hadn't even bothered painting it yet, and they were out test flying it. Flies right over this. We'd be sitting here and we'd look up about 20 or 30 degrees and there'd be the airplane. Okay, if y'all look down at that rock, I think you can see the rock. It's even more exposed now. That water's receding pretty quick. once again, we're on battery, so I'm not going to be able to do this too long. I don't have an extension cord, and usually, you know, when I do the ones in the truck that are like 8 and 9 hours long, that I've got it plugged into the cigarette lighter so that, you know, the battery doesn't run down. And there's a big old hawk, or it might be an adolescent eagle over there to the right. It's pretty big. I think that's an eagle. He just landed in a tree over there. Tell you what, let me look and see if there's any in the tree above us. There was one up there while I was charging the damn phone, and I made the mistake of making eye contact with him, and he flew off. Yeah, there's not one in there. He's not there right now. There's a big flock of birds off to the right, and when they turn, they flash white. See them? They're just over the top of the water. Right just past the middle of the screen there, about halfway up there, on the left now. They turn one way, they turn black. They turn the other way, they turn white. Flash right there. The seagull coming across up above the horizon there. Oh, did you hear that? I think that was a seal, maybe? Look at that rock now. Look how much of it's exposed. Every once in a while, one of these ducks will get pretty excited and start making some noise too. Mark, we're in Maryville, Washington. Yeah, I'm very relaxed there, Gates, man. Very relaxed. Maryville, Washington. Yeah, it's one of them airplanes there, Mark. I'm not sure. Oh, careful! God damn it! Don't drop this thing again. Get this back here a little bit. Uh, yeah, yeah. Sometimes the fixing the car ain't for enjoyment, but it's good for the bank account there, Gage man. If you can do it yourself. Tennessee, Tennessee trucker. Tim 4, I'm glad this mic works good. That's fantastic. Y'all can hear all this stuff. Gage man. Yeah, yeah, Gage man. I enjoy nature, and like I said about fixing cars is one, if I can fix it myself, I can save myself some money, and two, there's the satisfaction of completing the job. Okay, and yeah, there's a satisfaction figure there. You know, when you've got something that has issues and you can't use it because it has issues, and you repair it and it's 100% again, there's just some satisfaction there. So we got here. We got all the responsibility done last night. Uh, just a little after sunset, and so I've pretty much been on just on cruise control ever since, and just relaxing, and about the only thing I've had to get excited about is how I can cook some eggs in a ill-equipped kitchen. Uh, had a couple of forks and a bowl and some pots, but no frying pan. And we eventually ended up with a 3-egg omelet that was cooked in a bowl in a microwave. That's about the highest. Well, how can I put it? Yeah, stress level I've had all day. Well, that, and I clogged the toilet, and there's no plunger, and we'll just leave it at that. And that rock down there is almost dry. It's probably only sitting in 8 inches of water now, maybe. There's a good foot of it sticking up. I think y'all can still see it. And I have access to a rental car that Larry has been using, but I'm just not in the mood, you know. I'm just not in the mood to get out there on the road. This is too nice. This is something rare right here. And the really cool thing about this Well, Gage man, once again, that stems from this phone right here. Okay, I did a little research, and I spent a fair amount of money on this phone because I wanted to be able to do this kind of stuff with it. But let's see, what was I yammering about just a second ago? Yeah, I just didn't feel like it. It's a moment of solitude and serenity. It's the best way I can describe it. It's just look at the flock of birds right there on the horizon. Can you see them? Hope you can see them. I can see white and black and Terry Brown, thank you. Yeah, I'm enjoying it myself. Tennessee Trucker. All right, Tennessee Trucker, are you making a metaphor or are you talking literally there, buddy? Finn Painter, yes, it's very nice here. George Giles. Give me a second. There's a thermometer over here. All right, the thermometer says 52 degrees, but it is also in the sun. I'm gonna say it feels like it's probably about. It's not that warm. But it ain't. It isn't below 45. Let's see, Terry Brown. Yes, it's beautiful here. Yeah, 10-4 on that, Terry. It's a pretty place. Larry, who owns a joint, I was inside sipping coffee or something this morning, and he saw a couple of salmon right out here. Said they were about 3 feet long, right down there, probably about 15 feet out from that rock, which is getting drier by the minute. Fin painter, yeah. There again, I'm not an avid fisherman, but I can see. I thoroughly enjoy. If you want to go fishing and don't mind me hanging out with beer, I will go with you. There again, I'm when it's time to relax, I simply don't want to have any technology in my hand. I'm done. Except for a beer. I like beer. Golf. I've played golf a little bit to the point where I can understand the attraction, and I will gladly go out for a walk with you on the greens. I would prefer not to. How can I put it? Ending up dealing with a competition with a little white ball isn't my idea of fun. I like oh, 10-4 on that, Tennessee. You're talking about the Tennessee River Valley? We actually drove parallel with the Columbia River across the top of Oregon night before last, and passed several dams, and yeah, some of them things are getting old. I know the government's actually removing some of them in this area uh, to because there was so much ecological damage, that and displacing the Native Americans and all that kind of stuff. And I know there's at least one or two around here that they're actively removing. Um, but the simple fact that, yeah, they're probably in a poor state of repair as well. And given the current economic and all that kind of yah, it's probably cheaper to get rid of them. Excuse me. Let's see. Hello, Devin. Yeah, 10-4 on that, Devin. I've been in that situation before, actually, and it wasn't that the electronic log messed up. I have driven trucks that had electronic situations in them, and I had to quite literally turn the one that was in the truck off so that I could get my job done. And we'll just leave it at that. Mark. Oh, Mark. Okay, well, all right. The gentleman that owns this property that I'm sitting on right now, okay, he's a former employer of mine, and he's also a former business associate of my current employer. And he got out of racing, and he now works for Boeing. And he was working for Boeing in Charleston, South Carolina. And even though he got out of racing, he still keeps his fingers in it. And so he has a lot of equipment that he's been leasing to other folks. And the current lease on that equipment was up. He needed to move 2 of his personal cars as well, and he made a big old pile out of it, and he approached my employer, and here I am. If you follow ARCA, Mason Mitchell, who I think was the 2014 champion, was leasing the trailer, and the lease agreement came to an end last month, and so Larry now has a race trailer and all of his equipment back. And anyway, he moved to Washington and asked my boss for help. Let's just simplify it that way.